My dear children, once again welcome to our physics class. Hope you all are fine over there. Children, let's continue our chapter thermodynamics. So in the previous session we had discussed about different types of equilibrium, different types of systems and different types of walls separating the systems and the surroundings. And today let's continue with the same chapter. So first we are going to discuss about zeroth law of thermodynamics. Since you had already studied about the diathermic wall and the adiabatic wall, you can easily understand zeroth law of thermodynamics. And zeroth law states that when two systems are in thermal equilibrium through a third system separately, then they are in thermal equilibrium with each other. So here we have considered three systems, A, B and C. So two systems A and B are in thermal equilibrium with the third system C separately. That means system A is in thermal equilibrium with system C. System B is also in thermal equilibrium with system C. So if A is in thermal equilibrium with C, then we can say temperature of A is equal to temperature of C. Because when two systems are in thermal equilibrium, their temperatures will be equal. And similarly, if B is in thermal equilibrium with C, then temperature of B is equal to temperature of C. If this is true, then zeroth law states that temperature of A will be equal to temperature of B. And that is very clear from these two expressions. Isn't it? Because LHS are same, so RHS can be equated. That means temperature of A is equal to temperature of B. So A and B are in thermal equilibrium with each other. So if two systems are in thermal equilibrium with a third system separately, then these two systems will be in thermal equilibrium with each other. This is zeroth law. And zeroth law of thermodynamics suggested that there should be some physical quantity which should have same value for the system to be in thermal equilibrium. And this physical quantity which determines whether the system is in equilibrium or not is temperature. Temperature is the quantity which determines whether the system is in thermal equilibrium with the neighboring system. When the temperature becomes equal, then the flow of heat stops. Now let's discuss about thermodynamic state variables. Thermodynamic state variables are the microscopic quantities which determine the thermodynamic equilibrium state of a system. So the state variables determine whether the system is in equilibrium or not. Now these macroscopic quantities are known as thermodynamic state variables. So extensive variables, different types of variables are there. So one type of thermodynamic state variable is extensive variables. This extensive variable indicate the size of the system. That means they depend upon the size of the system. Which means extensive variables are those that depend on the mass of the system or number of particles in the system. For example, volume, mass, internal energy, etc. These variables can be considered as extensive variables because these variables depend upon size of the system. If we consider a system whose mass is greater than the size of the system, then the system is greater. All this depend on the size of the system. Then another type of variable is intensive variables. These variables don't depend on the size of the system. They are independent on the size of the system. Example, pressure and temperature. So the pressure and temperature are known as intensive variables. Equation of state. Equation of state, from the name itself, it is an equation. And this equation shows the relationship between the state variables. And we know the different types of state variables like pressure, mass, volume, density, all are state variables. So equation of state is an equation that shows the relationship between any of the state variables with each other. For example, consider this equation PV equal to mu RT. You are familiar with this equation. This is our famous ideal gas equation. And here this equation relates the variables like pressure, volume and temperature with each other, because P is pressure, V is volume, T is temperature, and this equation relates the macroscopic state variables pressure, volume with the temperature. So this equation can be considered as the equation of state for an ideal gas. And this equation of state describes about the state of matter under the given set of physical conditions. The next concept in this chapter is internal energy. Internal. It is defined as the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy of all. Internal energy. From the name itself, we can define internal energy. It is defined as the sum of kinetic energies and potential energies of the molecules constituting the system as a whole, and not of individual molecule. We know that inside the system many number of molecules will be present, and these molecules possess kinetic energy and potential energy. So the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy of all these molecules present inside the system constitute the internal energy. It is also a macroscopic variable of the system. Internal energy is denoted by U. It is a thermodynamic state variable. It is an extensive variable and it depends upon the size of the system. Internal energy is an extensive variable because it depends upon the size of the system. Now it can be specified by the values of pressure, volume and temperature at that particular time. It only depends on the state of the system at that particular time. It does not depend on how the system has reached that state. Okay, that means it does not depend upon the path followed by the system to reach from initial and final state. Internal energy depends only on the initial and final state. Does not depend upon the path followed to move from the initial to final state. Hence it is known as the state variable. Now there are two different modes to change the internal energy of a system. One is heat, another one is work. So what is heat? Consider a bottle and a balloon. They are tied at the neck of the bottle. When we heat the bottle, due to the difference in temperature, heat flow takes place. As a result, balloon blows up. So that is due to transfer of heat, kinetic energy and potential energy changes from the bottle to the balloon. This results in the change of internal energy. So heat is a mode or heat is a mean to one of the ways to change internal energy of a system, which is well understood from this example. And another way to change internal energy is work. We can do some work on the system. In this case, system is the bottle with a balloon tied. As a result, the internal energy of the system changes. Internal energy increases when the system absorbs heat and some work is done on the system. Similarly, internal energy decreases if we change the conditions. So when the system absorbs heat, internal energy changes. Similarly, when the system does some work, then also internal energy changes. So work and heat are the means to change internal energy. Children, with this I am concluding today's session. We will meet in the next session with a new topic. Notes of the topic and YouTube video have been uploaded. Please go through it. Thank you all of you. Stay home, stay safe.